begin with one of the new projects in Lagos State, recently commissioned by President Muhammadu Buhari, where, according to reports, the Blue Rail is expected to transport more than 7 million residents of Lagos monthly. According to the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Gboyega Akosile, the infrastructure constructed by the Lagos Metropolitan Transport Authority will transport 250,000 passengers daily, while ongoing construction on the Red Line, which extends 37 kilometers from Agbado to Ebute Metta, will be completed before the end of May. This is novel, CKN, for state government.
Yes, it's more than novel.
Because if the federal government is coming together to do this kind of thing, we know that, but in Nigeria, I think Lagos is blazing the trail.
Mm-hmm. It is, and for those of us that were born and have been bred and can call ourselves Lagosians, this is a very good one. You know why? This didn't start today. This issue of Metro Line started as far back as in the 80s.
Yes.
During the time of Lateef Jakonde. Mm-hmm. I remember vividly. Why do I remember vividly with nostalgic feelings? Because my father worked with the company that was supposed to, preparing to build that metro. Yes, it was called Speedbat. I can't forget that name. My dad was one of those that were working in that company until the military came, led by General Muhammadu Buhari, and everything turned upside down. And I remember vividly what my family went through at that period, because my dad lost his job, so many of his friends and the rest of them, and this is a man that was catering for 3 children, and it was very, very bad. So for me, this project is not urgent, and that is why most often than not, when you look at Lagos and look at the consistency with which the Lagos state government have been going through, even right from, from the 80s to the 90s, from 1999 to 2003, you come to realize that there seems to be a roadmap of which every successive government that comes in works on. This project wasn't started by Sanwo-Olu. It wasn't. It wasn't started by Sanwo-Olu. I remember vividly during the time of, if I don't remember that of Asiwaju, but I remember vividly that of Ashola. So many attempts were made. But in nowhere it is even much painful. And why? Asoko, I don't know whether you've been to Port Harcourt some years back. During the time of Amechi. There was something similar. I was in Port Harcourt, I've been to Waterline, monorail. I've been to Waterline, I've been to all this Romo, and I saw that if you are heading to, you will see the rail path. Yeah. Just crossing, and you think by today that of Port Harcourt would also taken place. But you know what? Immediately, Amechi left government. That was the end of that project. That was the end of, and so many billions were sunk into that project. And you continue to ask yourself, what happened? So, to me, for us in Lagos, and I continue to say, we are congratulating ourselves for me to see a project of this man. You know why? This in itself, if you look at the perennial traffic situation in Lagos.
Yes. That's the
perennial traffic situation in Lagos. I schooled at Lagos State University last week, and I know the traffic on that Mile 2 up to Okoko, then going as far as Badagry. So this in itself is going to ease up the transport system in that, and very, very in an air-conditioned train in Nigeria. Not the other type that we've been seeing, and not the locomotive one that will be seen. So I commend the Lagos State government, I commend the governors, and all those that have. My own challenge here is that I hope we'll be able to have the maintenance, being able to maintain, because ours is not starting the project, but having the maintenance culture, be able to maintain anything. And good enough, even Ogun State is already talking about probably linking Abeokuta to even Lagos. You can imagine what that will for Nigeria.
More than 7 million residents, Lagosians, will be conveyed monthly. And, what they said, 250,000 passengers daily for a state with 20 million people. You can see that will go a long way.
This is just for the first phase. These 250,000 passengers is just for the first phase, which is the Marina to Mile 2. That is the one that they are projecting 250,000. And so they know that in one full month, they will be having close to 7.5 million passengers, This is novel, this is good. Just like CKN said, a governor in Rivers started a project similar, that would have eased off traffic when you are going to
serious
water
traffic.
lines.
Yes, from Aba Port Harcourt Express.
But
terrible
all of a sudden it was abandoned. But thank God that we have a governor who did not want this project to just go like that. Because it started with Fashola, even though the initiative, the Lamata initiative started from Tinubu, but Fashola took it, Fashola took it up and stopped somewhere before.
Somebody didn't
touch it. He didn't touch it. Till someone decided.
They would have commissioned it before now.
Yeah. Of course, because then we had everywhere was buoyant, the economy was buoyant in terms of how much you are making from the dollar, from the oil sales, But then someone who actually did well in doing this. What I'm looking at is in the next 3-4 years in Lagos State. Now they are planning the blue line. By the time they complete to Okokomaiko and they start the red line, I'm looking at if most Lagosians will start thinking of, can I start living in Ibadan and working in Marina, for instance. Because if, for instance, I'm coming to Lagos, all I need to do is I can stop by in Agbado, enter the red line. If I'm going to Okokomaiko, enter the red line, stop somewhere, maybe where there's a link, and go straight to Okokomaiko. This is how the so-called developed nations have moved, far away from us, because there's a serious master plan in place, and they are following it through. Because even now, people are already saying, "Oh, what of Lekki?" Lekki too, if they can do the green line, I think it's going to be the green line also. So it's just for us to make sure that transportation in Lagos is easy. And one thing about the red line thing, which I've been looking at the project, I don't know if you have gone through that Ikeja area, is that they linked it up with a bus terminal.
Yes.
So the bus takes you to the bus terminal, you walk straight into the train station, and then you can just easily take the train and go to Marina. So this makes life very easy for everybody. So as it stands now, the 7.5 million people who will be taking that train would enjoy at least, let me say, the dividend of democracy for now. But I am also begging Nigerians or Lagosians. This is not locomotive, where people will go there and begin to sell things, where people will go there and say they want to cut the track. It is different. This one is high.
No, I thought they won't. Because it's electric. They've already told them. It's electric. They've told them. If you decide to go there and think that
is electric. So this is not, you will die instantly.
You will. So
because the voltage is more than what anybody can think of.
Know why? The beauty for me is that added to this is the fourth mainland bridge that is also coming. Lagos is expanding. The problem with Lagos, with Lagos, we have a very small landmass, but our population is just. This is why if you walk into Oshun, just start on where the time was. I start and see of head. I used to ask most of them, where do these people? Where are they entering every night?
Or go to Marina.
Or you go to Marina. Where are these people emptying into? You understand what I'm saying? So it is a big, and that is why someone like me, if you ask me, I always find it very convenient. I don't know why. You be American, but I prefer you be American. I prefer going to UK and London. You know why?
Transport
because
system.
the transport system.
Perfect transport system.
If I'm in US, most of them I'm using Uber. It's always Bolt, Uber, and the rest of it. But in the US, you buy, and I think that is the model Lagos wants. You buy that card. That card
for a month.
That card, you will use it
for your bus.
The bus. You will use it for the train.
Yes.
And then any other services, that same card, all you just need, enter there, just swap it up. Yeah, whenever you finish, you just stop it and address them. I believe that's because I was listening to I was watching, and I think the general manager of, is it Lamata or whatever, on this lady's program on TVC.
Mariah.
Yeah, that their program one day, and she was saying the same thing, that to get to a point where you just have the card, The same card you use for the bus is the same thing you use for the train and the rest of them. That
And
will
even
be a
the ferry
convergence.
too.
And the
I
ferry
think they also
and the
linked it
ferry.
up with the ferry.
I remember the ferry. When I was working in Apapa in the late 90s, from Apapa, we just enter that ferry. You are in Marina. You don't need to go through that route. From that Liverpool, if you know where Liverpool Brothers used to be, where Liverpool Brothers, you just come there, you enter the district. Within 3 minutes, you are in Marina. And you come back. So those of us who are working this, we don't need to go through the route of going through the bus and the rest of them. And I think this is what is going to happen with this. So it's very commendable for us.